Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room. I just had a small 5-minute lectures with my traders in the group, which is not recorded for YouTube. So to my YouTube viewers, let me give you a 2-minute lecture as well. I want to thank you for being with us here for the entire year. Those of you who follow, I know I have a very steady following, very small, but very steady because you guys tend to get what we do. It's helping you in your trading, I assumed. And the hope is that you continue to follow and hope you can be in the group with us eventually, right? So here is what I'm going to ask you to do. If you're one of my YouTube viewers and you really like what you do and you would really like to be in the group as well, right? You're not just one of the trolls who follow me all the time and you just want to be there to write nonsense because you don't have a life, but you have a life and you're trading and you want to be successful and you would like to join the group. Tell me, send me a message what you need me to do to get you into the group. Right? Why you're not in the group? Just tell me why. It could be financial, it could be anything. Send me a private message and we'll see what we can do for you next year. Right? There's because we have very big plans for next year. Our traders are doing great. And like I said, I mean, you can go wrong, we can go wrong in circles, right? If you go and you just type trading in Google, you would get about 1 million different things popping up and a lot of free stuff, right? A lot of free stuff. People say, okay, I'll teach you to trade for free. Just send me your email and send me this and send me that. And it's okay if you want to join those, but the whole purpose of those is collecting your email because then it can be sold, right? If they collect 100,000 email, they can sell it. It's not their purpose is not training you to trade. Their purpose is getting your email so they can sell it to a broker because you're a trader, right? That's the whole purpose. I've been offered to do all those stuff, right? I don't do promotions in my videos. I don't do ads. We tried to do ads a period of time because I was told if you do ads, you're gonna get more views. There was one person trying to help us to promote the videos, and that didn't work well. So, I mean, right now I don't care. Right now I'm at this stage of my life where all of those nonsense don't bother me anymore. Like I really don't care. So many things have happened in the world that your vision of the world and what you do changes. I care about those who want to learn. Those who are in the group with me. My focus is on my group, the people who are here because they want to learn. And you guys who watch my YouTube videos, because if you're watching it for the whole year and I notice there is a steady small view that watch it, it means that you guys are interested in being here. So let's see how we can get you in the group. That's the whole point. Now, to be fair, everybody who is in the group paid for the course. So you will still have to pay for the course. The question is, how do we make you do that? How do we help you to do that? That is the only thing, right? Right, me? Let's see how we figure that out, right? Um, that's it. Let's start. So we're looking at, I have gold on here because if you were following me last week, remember I said we're watching gold for this move down, but it starts consolidating in here, right? We're looking for this big move here. If I can go back and find where that sharp move, I have it because there's a sharp move to have. That was, why do I have the sharp one there? Where did that one come from? Okay, not sure where that come from. But we'll come back here. Let's go back to the daily. Oh, I think we were looking for this to make a 1, 2, 3 when it comes back here, right? So right now we're making a 2 here. This is coming back here. See? And if we understand anything, the way we look at wave analysis is that when you get something like this in here, the chances are this will tend to go back up. Right? There's a like 80 to 90% chance of that happening. I mean, I can come and show you a million of them. I don't need to show you that anymore, right? If you don't understand what I'm trying to show you, just go watch some more of my videos. Right? So the chances are it's going to come back here and then it's going to come back here. Now, if you're seeing this for the first time, don't just take what I say for granted because it looks like guesswork to you. I want you to go watch more of the videos and watch those patterns and see how they happen, right? What is happening here is not that the market is creating a pattern. The market is not out to create a pattern for anybody. What is happening here is basic transactions, right? And when we have this type of pattern forming, when we have trading in this range, it's tend to stay in this range. And within the range, patterns are created. Now, what I'm showing you is one of the basic patterns that could be created in this range before it leaves the range either in this direction or leave the range in that direction. So I'm going to put the range with the first impulse we have. Always when you're thinking about a range, you're thinking about the first impulse. That's the sign, the first drop that it makes. That's a sign of the range you're going to be in for a while. right? So it made a drop or it made a sharp move, and you're going to be in that range for a while. Now, depending on how long it takes here, how much they're accumulating to either go up or how much they're selling to either drop it, right? Now, since we don't know which direction they're going to go, what we would look for on a higher time frame here is where we are in the higher time frame. Now, we were at an extreme high level. That means probability downside is always higher than probability upside. That's just a natural thing. When something is too high, it tends to come down. When something is too low, it tends to go up. Right? That's you. It's common sense. Even you don't even have to know a lot. You don't have to study a lot of charts to know that. So we're always going to work with the intention that is go. But the pattern that's created here with all the orders being filled, it could get much more complex than what I showed you. What I showed you is the simplest possible pattern that could form. Right? It could get much, much more complex. We could stay here for another year and then go up or then go down. So don't assume that when I showed you this and this, it's going to drop or it's going to come here and then go back. It could stay here for a long time, right? Until the period of accumulation or the period of sell off is going to happen. Now, because it's at the top, the higher probabilities is a sell off, not an accumulation. Accumulation normally happens at the bottom. So if you're a huge investor in gold or you're a huge gold trader, which means you want to make millions and billions and billions of dollars in gold, you don't accumulate gold at the top there. You accumulate gold at the bottom here. See that box I draw there? That's an accumulation period, right? This is where you accumulate gold and you keep pushing it up. And then you can come and buy back some more in here. You can see the accumulation phase. You can end up buying back some more in here, no problem with that, because you've sold quite a lot. And then you can push it up again. You can push it up again and you keep pushing it. So why would you push it up? Well, because you're going to start to sell off in these spots. And if you're going to accumulate more, if you've sold off enough to accumulate more, you will have to bring it down back pretty deep, right? Because there's no point of you buying at the top. I mean, if you're an investor, if you're trying to manipulate this market, you're trying to make money. Even if you buy here and you push it up, I don't know, to 3,000, that's not a lot of money when you're talking about the volume of money you have to invest. But if you buy it at the bottom here when it was 1,002 and then you're selling off at the top of 2,000, and then you make a lot of money because you still have to hold it for a long period of time, right? This, if you take from this point here, that is in June 13, to this point here, that is in August 18, that's a 5-year period of accumulation. So you're actually buying up for 5 years. That means you're investing a lot of money for 5 years. You're not going to just push it 2 points up or 3 points up. You need to get it up a lot. So when Bitcoin is jumping up so high, because there was a long period of accumulation before that, and now it's going to go up high, at that point, the sell off will start. Now you're saying, well, who are they selling to? Well, I think you know the answer to that. I don't need to tell you that. Anyway, let's come back to here. What is the trade? Now, because, and I think I mentioned this in one of my videos, and one person went crazy and actually leave about 15 comments on that. One of his comments is you can't make money trading short term. You have to catch the longer run. And I'm like, well, we're actually making money trading the short term. I have traders who trade much shorter than I'm showing you and still making money. So I'm not going to argue with him on that. That's his opinion and he has a right to it, right? That's his belief system that he thinks can't happen, but people are doing it, right? So what I'm going to show you is what we would do. Like I just showed you, some people might be buying it, most will be selling it. So there's a high probability that it could drop one more, right? That this could, it's going to go up first here a little, but then it could drop one more before it goes. So I'm looking at this right now as a small consolidation. Can this be the end of it before it goes back up like that? Well, if I am not trading the 5 minutes, then I'm not buying this. I would let it go and it would probably even get like this and then start to do this. Now I'm ready to buy this to go break the top. And this would be the running flat. And that is okay. I don't need to pick the bottom, right? I need to know that I'm surely trading this one. Now, depends on your skill level. If you want to trade the 5 minutes to go, you have to be willing to take that loss should it not go. I mean, not that it shouldn't go, but should it not go far enough to give you profit? You have to have the skill level to get out of it. So I would say this might even go a little more here, but then the probabilities is going to drop. So I would say let's look for one more sell before it goes up. Because you're not going to get a buy right now unless you're trying to trade the 5 minutes or lower time frame. But you could get a sell today. So I would say let's put it for a sell setup. We'll watch for the sell setup first, and if it goes much higher, then we'll change that into looking for the buy setup. The buy setup is not going to happen today, maybe tomorrow or so. Unless something happened and it just make one big spike all the way to the top. In that case, you miss the trade, you wait for the sell setup after that. I'm just going to take these off. These were from Thursday. I wasn't in the room Friday. Yeah. Dollar index. Still here. Let's see where we are in the bigger picture. We broke the top. We're still here, right? We didn't go back to the top as yet. We broke this top. That is the flat we're looking at. We're looking at this flat, right? 1, 2, 3. It's going up much more than I thought it should go, right? Because I was expecting them to just break this top and then come down. Now, we already broke the top here once. And the reason I'm keeping this as not the low, but as the part of the correction is because we do have expanding and running flats. So because it didn't go very far, if you take this as the correction, then my expectation was this would go very far. But because it just broke the low here, we have to keep an open mind that, okay, when you break the low and you go back up, is there a possible pattern where it could still go down? And there are two. That is the running flat and the expanding flat. In this case, it's the expanding flat. So if it is an expanding flat, it's going to drop from here. The higher it comes into this, even if it should go down, it means we're still going to have one more up, right? From this point, it's still okay. It could drop. So what we look for here is this ready for downside, or is it still more upside? At the moment, it's pretty difficult to trade. Like this was an easy buy. This one didn't have any buy setup. It just dropped like this. You probably wouldn't trade in here unless you're trading in the 5 minutes. There was a running flat here. You could actually put all of this as a running flat because there are two running flats in there. This could be the top. In that case, what you want is you want this to drop one more, go back up, give you a flat here, and then drop. That would be a good sell. Now, can you sell this one to see how far it goes in here? If you're very good at wave analysis and you understand all the patterns and the possibility of this not going very far and then go back up and then come down, if you understand that and where you need to keep your stop and how to manage that trade should it not go immediately, it's a good sell setup, right? But if you don't have all of that skills and knowledge, what this could possibly do, right? Then you shouldn't trade this as yet. You should wait for the sharp move up. So you should wait for it to drop here, go back up like this and come, or drop here, go back up like this and then come. Right? That would be a sell. Now, can it drop? Can it drop, make another flag, drop, make another flag, drop, then go back up and then come? Yeah, it possibly could do that. So when you're taking this, you have to understand all of this. You have to have that basic knowledge of patterns and what it could do. The knowledge is a guidance. It's the, okay, it can do this. And as it's starting to move, you will see how that is changing. You'll see how the patterns is developing. And you can say, you know what? Okay, this is another flag. I'll just put it to break even, then leave it. Let it drop again. Or this is a reversal, and I have the chance to take break even with a few pips. I may as well just close it right now. Or it went sideways for 3 candles and it's not going, which means you're not sure it's going to go back up or down. You close the trade for break even or positive 5, 10 pips. So all of that, how you're going to manage a trade is based on what it's going to do next, the knowledge you've accumulated in that. So everything you do is based on the knowledge and the experience you've accumulated in your past trading. And that's why this group is open for lifetime complimentary free access once you take the course. Because you can come here, make money, enjoy fun with the guys in the group, make some money, go back, do what you have to do, come back the next day, help a few people make money, which is good for your ego as well and good for your general well-being. Not only are you making money, but you're helping a few people in the group make money. It makes you feel good, and you will probably live a couple of years longer by doing that. Right? Simply by coming into the room and sharing your trades and helping some people make money will make you live a couple of years longer. You'll just feel good of yourself that you've done something good today. Than just trade by yourself, locked up in a room and doing your own thing and nobody knows you. It's the happy feeling alone of helping people and sharing what's going on with you. It's very good. It helps. And the group is in itself a good place to be. So that said, if you have that skill level, you can trade it. If you don't, then I would say wait for the next move up before you go for the sell. It might be a sell setup. And I said might because depending on if this works its way up here, you wouldn't be in the sell, right? If it goes up there, but you're not buying it. If it goes up there, then drop here, right? If it goes up here, drop here, and then go back up. The higher probability is we might end up with this coming here and go back up, or this one just takes off, depending on whether you look at a contracting flat or a regular flat, right? In that case, you wouldn't be in any sell. That's the difference. If this should go up, you wouldn't be. But if it dropped to go for the sell, which means the tag you, the chance are you have to just manage the trade. So I'll put look for a sell setup. Now, why would you have a sell in gold and a sell in dollar index? Again, the same thing. It's the different patterns in different time frames, right? Where you're looking at this time frame and where this can go. Remember, gold is not going to drop immediately. Gold has to go up first, then drop. So gold is already going up. You can see that. Now the question is, I don't know how high it's going to go. That's why I said, unless you're trading the 5 minutes, you shouldn't buy it. Because I don't know how high it can go. It can end up here, or it can just break that up and turn to the downside. If this turns to the downside, dollar index is going to continue to go up most likely. So you wouldn't be tagged in the sell. So why am I elaborating so much on this? It's a year end, and I want to help those traders who are watching me on YouTube who's not in the group. My traders know all of this stuff. It's mostly for those confused people. When I'm saying that we're looking for sells here and sells here, and they get very confused and they say, well, you have no idea what you're doing because both is not possible. And it is. It all depends on the time frame you're looking at, what structure you're looking at, and can gold and even forget about the structure. Can gold price and dollar index and dollar price goes up at the same time? Can dollar be stronger and gold be stronger? Yes, we've seen both. That happens as well, where the price of gold is going up, although the dollar is getting stronger. And sometimes the gold is getting much more expensive faster than the dollar is getting stronger. Those are not factors that they're not negating each other. It's possible that that could happen, right? Gold could get expensive, especially coming to the year end, and the dollar could gain value. Nobody says that that can't happen. It's like some people believe because the dollar index, and we trade gold in dollar, that where the dollar index is going to go will depend what's going to happen to the price of gold and silver. No, that doesn't even make sense. The only thing you'll see gold drop when the dollar is gaining value because the gold is not gaining value. Gold is still at the same value, but dollar is changing its value, and that's why you'd see gold price moves. But gold can gain value by itself or lose value by itself, not related to the dollar value. So if you keep that in mind, then you start to understand. And if you're watching this and those basic stuff you didn't understand, you probably need to learn a lot more about trading. So understand that when you're trading here, right? Let's go. Silver. Silver is going to go up a little, but in the big picture, where we think silver is going to go, let's go back. Okay, so silver dropped from here. It did tag the top. That was tagging the top, not really breaking the top. But if you're looking for a sell setup, you'll probably sell it lower. We don't sell at the top of a big move like that. You'll probably sell inside here or you'll sell here. And if you do either of that, you could have got out of that trade for break even. Because the first tag pull back, go, the second tag starts pulling back, you probably want to close it. I'll think running flat for upside. If I was thinking that this would go up more, I would think of it coming here and going back up. Now, do I need a running flat inside of this? No, I don't. So you close the trade and you put the entry above the top here if you wanted to still take that running flat. We're at the bottom here. Let's see what happens here now. Well, it's likely going to drop through this bottom. We already discussed that because this move is very, very sharp, the chances are we would look at this as the flat. Or the flat gets bigger. Let me see if I can pick the right one. No, didn't get the right one. I wanted this one. Let me see if I can get it. Nope. Yep, got it finally. This one. Right? That could be an expanding flat. Or it could get much more complex than that, which means this comes here. Go back up, you get this. You get 1, 2, 3. Go back up and then come here. The higher it goes into this, and it will come back here. When it comes here, the higher the probability of upside. But the more it stays in this range, the higher the probabilities we're going to drop to the bottom. So what am I looking for here? If we get a sell setup, we take it. If this drop one more, we take the sell. This has the most consolidation, although this one wasn't bad in terms of consolidation. You could go in an argument of a 1, 2, 3 here. Look for a sell setup here. Right now, you have a very short-term buy setup, which would be this. If you're buying, that's a short-term buy setup, right? If you're buying this, I would keep it like this and wait and see if it drops. So a sell setup here is a good idea, should it drop. The higher probability is downside. So now that you've got all of that consolidation, you can put it here and you can actually put an entry order here now. It broke the top, so an entry order here for the sell is not a bad idea. If it goes higher, if it goes higher than this, you would need it to go up more, make a flag, and then assume that we're going to retest that top. So it will have to go higher up, make a flag somewhere here, and then we'll consider that they're going up. Right? As of now, I still think it could drop. And if it drop, we'll be looking at this as a 1, 2, 3. This will drop to the bottom. It will break this low. And you want it to drop out of the structure, consolidate, and keep dropping. So we can put a sell setup there and we'll see what happens to that. Euro. Okay, it didn't go anywhere. I think this was an entry order based on the channel. It did stay here a while. It didn't go anywhere, and it still actually isn't going anywhere. Take that off. We're breaking out of the channel. You're making a flat. That's upside. I actually want this to pull back. You want that pull back. So you want this to go there. You want it to pull back and then go for it. It's very small, so probably wait for the pullback and then go for that trade. So we'll be looking for a buy setup. Take this out and look for a buy setup. If we break out of this structure, then the likelihood is we're going to go one more up. Let me put it to this point. Let's see. It's not exactly the pattern we were looking for. Let me take that off. We're looking for this here, right? To be part of this one. It could still be, you could still make an argument for an expanding flat here, but I would probably leave this as a separate one of its own. So if we keep this, this will be more of an internal one in the up move. So there is still a move to come here, especially if this breaks and take off. That's a good buy. The only way you wouldn't get a good buy is if for some reason it break, it goes to a certain point, stop, and starts coming down back. I don't think that. The very likelihood is going to go up. This is very corrective. We could be stuck in a bigger sideways, which means it can come here and come back down like this for something like this. We could be, because this is very corrective. So we could be stuck in something like this. They made a flat here, go up there, come back here like this one, and then go. So that possibility exists. The buy is still a good idea if you get it. Right? Once it pulls back, the buy is still a good idea. Pound. This dropped quite a lot. I think when I left you guys on Thursday, we were expecting it to come here and then go back up. Right? That was the point. So we had an entry order there, and if this was going to go up and give you a flag, that would be a buy. But then it came all the way to the bottom here. So take this out. That doesn't negate this correction. It's just a deeper correction. So how would we look at this now? Still upside. I don't think that has changed anything, unless it comes much deeper than it is right now. Right? This is still one piece. You could make an argument of a big flat here for downside. You could make an argument of a big flat here for downside. If this consolidates here a lot, if you get a consolidation like that, that probably by the end of today, New York session or tomorrow, you can go for the sell. We will take that as all the correction. And that's a continuation to the downside. But most likely, I think we could just take this as a deep correction and then upside. So what you need now is a small impulse up. You need this to make an impulse up and get a flag. Any flag from the bottom here would be a buy setup. Do we have any flag? Nope. Not only do we don't have any flag, we have the first piece coming back pretty low into the impulse. The second one, and then we are still inside of this. So this looks more like a sell setup. This looks like it could drop one more, which means if it drops one more, well, not necessarily downside. It could just break the low and come back. It's not a buy this is not a buy until it actually clears. I want to see a really sharp move up here and then a flag above the last impulse and then a flag. And then we can go with that buy. As of now, you can put an entry order here for a sell. It will never tag you if it's not dropping. But if it drop, you can get out for positive. So an entry order here for a sell. And if it only drops, break the low and start going back up. This is still a trade, even if it's a break-even trade. Right? So I think we go with it. Go with the sell. We'll put this an active sell, and then we'll see where that goes. Aussie. Did we break the low? Let me just go back and check. No, we haven't broken the low, so we're still coming down, which means Aussie is still downside. As long as the low is not broken, it's still downside. Actually, you have a flag here, which is good. You have a nice 4-hour little flag forming there, which means you can expect this to drop. And you can even expect it to pull back. You can expect it to pull back as well and then drop and then repeat the same process until it breaks this low, and then we're looking for the upside. So some more downside in Aussie is definitely there. 1 hour. It's not a flat, actually. It's two separate flags. Right? This is the zone one. This is a sharp drop. This is the zone one, but it's still downside. And the mere fact that they keep dropping back, all this consolidation here is still downside. So if you pull it like this, the entry order has to be under the low of the last impulse, which should be somewhere here. Don't expect it to go down too much, right? See, this one didn't drop a lot, this one didn't drop a lot, and then they went right back up. So it's probably going to give you the sharp move up, channeling down to the bottom here. But you can sell this, it will probably break this low, and then pull back and drop again, pull back, drop until we break the low. So that's an active sell. New Zealand. By the way, I should let you guys know I have a cold, so if I accidentally sneeze, cough, or anything, or my voice just go crazy, just give me a break because my throat was killing me last night. It's a little better now. So I'll put this as a contracting flat. Take that out. It's if it's within this move, it's a contract. We drop here and we're going back up. And we did break the low, right? We broke the low once, we broke the low twice. So if you bought anywhere from the bottom, you did well. Even if you bought this flag or this flag or this flag or this flag, you did well. I don't care if you get break even, you get a small loss in, but you did well. So it's pulling back, but I mean, this one pulled back also. They all pull back before they go. Can it drop more? It can still drop more, yes. Let's go back to the It can drop more, but there's no need for that to happen. It could. So if you're in any buy, just move your stops and wait and see what it's going to do. What I would like now, if you're not in any buy, now that you've got a few small ones, you want this to make a bigger one. And if it does, don't miss the buy. Even if it does this and come back down, don't miss the buy. Right? Go for the buy, take break even because we already broke this low, and that means we're going to turn to the upside anytime. And that turn could be really fast, especially if we have any news event coming up on New Zealand. You want a specific news event on New Zealand. So today is what, Monday? Let me just click very quick and see. Do we have any New Zealand? We have Euro news today. Okay, that's gone already. 11:15, 11:30, 11:35. 12, you have some more Euro news. Those are not very important. We have pound news at 12:30. We can trade that. And we have this afternoon, we have US news and CAD news. CAD news is tonight. Don't worry about that. We'll trade today. I'm using Moscow time. We can trade the US news this afternoon, New York session. So let's see. Right? We will be buying this. I don't care what it does, we'll be buying it in the news event because the higher probability is upside. If we're going to sell, we will probably sell Aussie if we have to sell. If there's sell setups, we'll go with Aussie. CAD. Yeah, more upside. So this buy was good. That was what I leave you. You're looking for another buy setup. Very clearly, CAD is going to get to this top. It might take the rest of the year to get there, and then we'll be trading it down next year. That would be fun, right? So if you're watching this video for the first time or you accidentally stumble onto this video, let me show you this pattern again because this is going to be interesting. Right? These arrows are not here accidentally. As a matter of fact, the arrow that was here actually looked like this. Right? That was what the initial arrow looked like because we had a clear pattern here. We had 1, 2, 3. Now that doesn't mean it can't make 4 and 5 and then go, right? So the move we'll be looking for is this one, and that is sharp. This one is relatively sharp. So the expectation is this is going to be really sharp. Now there's one setback on that. Only one setback. We could have still been right that this is the C impulse. But if we're right about that being the C impulse, then it is what we call the squeeze. It doesn't have a very clear squeeze vision, but it could be that it's going up really, 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 really slow. Break the top and then just drop. This one does not have the look of that one. Normally the squeeze is in a very nice channel, very well formed. This doesn't look like that. So I think this might most likely be this correction, similar to this correction here. It could be a correction. You could get a sudden spike there, and then we will be trading this down. Don't miss the downside. Downside looks good. It doesn't matter if it breaks the top and then come down. That is even a better deal. If it goes break the top and then start to come down, that is even better for us. So go back to the 1 hour. You still have some more buys, and it's still going. Yeah, you could buy again. There's a lot of buy setup forming here. It's incomplete. It has a lot of pieces more because I can see 1, 2, and we're in the correction now. Take any buy you can get. Seems like you're making the B part of it here now. Kind of come here, probably go back up, come back here, and then go. That'd be a good flat to trade. So decide which part of it you want to trade, where you want to get a trade, but it's a buy setup. This was a good one. I hope some of you got that trade. I hope some of you got part of it, even if you didn't get the whole trade. So it went really nice. So CAD is a buy setup. Swiss. The first one was here. The second one would have been this. Then you could have bought this. And well, it still has more upside. We still have to at least break this top and the likelihood we need to get here. In this case, we need to break the top first, right? So look for buy setups. Something is forming here now. Go back to the 15. Yep. Something here is forming. So look for buy setups. Let it drop some more, then look for buy setups from the last impulse now. Buy setups. Yen. Yen needs to go higher. Buy setups. It needs to break this top. So yen has a lot to go. Unlike everything else, Aussie is very close. New Zealand finished the move. CAD and Swiss is very close. Yen is still a far away, but who knows? Maybe you get one spike there and then drop. Go for the trade. Go for the buys. Especially if you get any yen news. Go for the buys. There is a buy setup right now. And if you want to trade it in the 5 minutes, better yet, you have a much more better buy setup. Right? So active buy. You can put an entry here right now. This could be an active buy. Okay. So that's for the majors. Let me complete for the YouTube viewers. I'll do some of these and then I'll do some cryptos. So just stick around for a few more minutes. Let's go. Natural gas. Okay, where are we in the natural gas? We broke this top on turn, right? So they broke that top on turn. Let's see where we have the turn. This was on Friday. That was a short-term sell setup, especially since you broke the top. Yep, downside is possible now. Once the top is broken, go for the downside. Right, makes sense. So the idea was to go break that top, and now you can look for any sell setup you get coming down back like this. So good, makes sense to me to go for the 1 hour, look for sells. You don't have any sell here now. We needed to consolidate. This was a good sell though, especially after the top is broken. That was a good sell. Now you need to get the sell set up here, wait for a consolidation, wait for a flat flag, anything, and then go for the sell. Sell setups. US oil still haven't broken the top. Now it could come down as a contracting flat, but the hope is that you get at least one more there, break the top, then come. Right, we're within this flat. So the hope is that it goes break that top, then come. It can come down without breaking the top. So if you get any sell setup anywhere along here, you can take it, but shouldn't make one more. I don't know. You can decide if you want the one more spike. There is at least one more spike to come, most likely. US 30. Well, there were a lot of sell setups. This was one, this was one. This one actually pulled back really sharp, then drop again. So when that happened, I would have probably closed it somewhere in here. Now, when this happened again, you go with this, and you put the entry here. Tag, you pull back again and drop. You either close here or you survive this one, and then you drop. And if that happens, you put it to break even and stay with it because you can see the pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop. You get the message, right? That you can stay with the next one. We're coming down really sharp. Wait for another flat sell. Well, it's about time you get a bigger one now, right? That is not very corrective. And this was more corrective. You had a big flat here and a big flat there. This has a series of small ones. So that could be a very slow channel coming down. One of those slow impulses, right? If it's one of those slow impulses, the way you trade it down for the big time is you want it to break out of this and then drop. Now, what if it's a correction for one more up? Well, you know the rule how to trade that. Put your entry. I'll take these off. Put it above the last impulse, especially if there's a news event. So what's going to happen? It's either going to do this or it's going to do this. Come back here slowly. You close the trade for break-even because it has to do this and go back up there, make a flat, and then drop. Right? This would be the first impulse down. So either way, if you manage that trade properly, you can still get break-even if it doesn't go. If it goes, you can good trade. Okay, so this one didn't break out. We were expecting it to break out. It didn't. It starts coming down. I don't think I would have sold it until after here. And after there was no flag to sell. It just went down. So wait for a flag and sell. This could be just a deep pullback. So come here, wait for a flag, wait for a correction, wait for a 1 hour correction. Wait for a 1 hour correction here to prove downside and then go for it. This was pretty steep and that went up. You had a buy setup here though. So if you get a buy setup here, take it. If you get a sell setup, take it. Both ways possible. Downside is very likely. Same here. Oh, this is more upside. This actually came down, so you have one more buy here. It needs to go up very sharp, like this, and then probably come back down before it goes. So they're probably, can it make this flat here and then drop totally? It's possible, but it's rare, right? Especially when the impulse is here and the flat is way at the top back. But there's a buy setup forming here. So buy setup, let me go with buy setup here. Okay, the sell didn't go far. I don't know if you got any profit or if you just close it. It just drop here and go back up. It came down back. It's going back up. This is a buy setup. Pull back here and then you get a buy setup there. You could make an argument for running flat here. So the buy setup is a good idea. Look for a buy setup. You already have a buy setup. You just need it to pull back. Okay, this broke through, but now the breakthrough is not a problem by itself. You have a buy setup. You have a very, very good buy setup here. Put an entry under here, and if it goes lower, take it off. That's a perfect buy setup from where you are. Right? Breaking through this doesn't mean anything. It has to consolidate and make a flat here before you continue. This is a sharp reversal. This could be a flag that takes off. So can it be this one? Possible. Go for the buy. Put an entry. It's an active buy. As long as it stays at the top, it comes back to the bottom, you take off the buy. This is upside. It's probably not ready to go as yet because they're consolidating here. And that means they'll probably just, stay here for a while, go there, and then come back down one more, but it's going to go sideways. DAX. Okay, take this off. It made a new high. Once it makes a new high, you take that off. Do we have this and this is a possible running flat? Why not? Sure. So if it is a possible running flat here, this could go up one more. So you needed to come here, you need to go back, you need to make a flag, get that flag, go for one more impulse. So it could be a buy. What if it is not? Let me take this off. What if this is the top and we are dropping? Well, we'll probably look at this as some kind of a contracting flatter with something else. But if this is the top and it's dropping, you don't really have a flag here. You need this to drop some more and make a flag. From where it is, the sell setup is a good idea if you get a good sell setup. You don't have a good sell setup at the moment. So wait for it to drop, make a flag. Remember, this was looking very similar, and then it kind of drops. So if you wait for it to make a flag, look for sell setups. If it goes up back, make an impulse and a flag buy. So both sides open at the moment. The downside is more likely, higher probability for downside. DAX. We are in the DAX, sorry. Okay, let's go. Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Oh, Tesla. Somebody's been asking me from Tesla. Somebody's been really bothering me what happened to Tesla. So Tesla's finally broke the top. I still think, like I said, even if Tesla broke the top, we could look at this as its own correction. Nothing is wrong with that. Looking at this as its own correction. My problem is this. My traders immediately know what I meant, right? The minute I said that's my problem, you know what I meant. Running flat, right? So the mere fact that it goes and break the top really doesn't mean anything. It could still come back here and then go. And this would become more of a running flat because there's a huge correction here. You normally don't get such a huge correction when they're making an impulse to the upside. You get something like this, but it's not so huge. So there is that slight possibility. At the top there, if you're looking for buy setups, you need a flag or a flat you can buy. This was a buy setup. I can tell you that. This was a buy setup. You probably would look at this as a running flat. You can buy this. You can buy this. Would you buy this? No. Would you buy this? No. But if it pulls back and it consolidates here, you can buy that. But any drop here with a flag is definitely a sell. Right? So the buy is, well, depending if you like it to see how far it's going to go, but any drop with a flag, you're definitely selling. Because this is a huge flat in the middle. This flat in the middle of that move is a huge flat. And this flat as well. Right? There are two. There's this one and then there's this one. Those are huge flats in the middle of that move. This one was pretty deep, pull back almost to the bottom of this move here when you're getting this move going down. Bitcoin, more upside. It did break out. You actually had another flag here. It broke out. Any sell set up here, take it. Let's go back to the 15. Every time it breaks the top and you get a sell set up, don't second guess it. Actually, you should be in that sell already if you're trading it. If not, you can, this might end up being a bigger flat, but you can put an entry order here and see if it drops immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops. So every time you break the top, you get a sell setup, take it, try to get break even, you're going to get a break even. If you took the first one, you already either closed it or you were in positive, right? The buy setups are a bit of a risk. Right now, you don't have a buy setup. This is not going back to the top there as yet. Unless it stop here and go back up and then come back, then it will become a buy setup again. But right now, it's a sell setup. ETH. Okay, ETH has a sell setup too. We didn't break the top as yet. I think we were expecting it to break that up first. Let me see if that is going to happen. 4 hour. Well, it doesn't matter how high it goes. We're just expecting it to break this top. And we haven't really broken the top. So this could still go up more. It might be coming down at the moment. So if it comes down, the possibilities we'll look at this as a running flat. But there's likelihood one more up. We need to break this top again. We did tag the top here, but this is a sharp move. So this needs to break the top and then reverse. So it's coming down now. Bitcoin might also be a consolidation. This is coming down. It might give you one drop, and then we'll see how far it goes. And then the 15, that's a sell setup. So that's a 15-minute sell setup. XRP. Okay, let's see where we are in the big picture. This pattern looks like it's going to go up one more. This here. That looks like it's going to eventually go up one more. Can it be that this is the start of the top and we're just giving deep pullback for downside? Because I'm not expecting them to go up quite a lot more. I think that move went much higher than we expected it to go. So what do we have here? You have a sell setup. You have a sell setup here. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a huge sell setup. It could just be something that comes here and then go back up because the upside is still possible. I think the bigger picture is still upside. So let it drop and then see if you get the buy setup. If that is the case, then these will just consolidate and then drop. LTC. Okay, let's see. This one doesn't have to go anywhere. Nope, this could start dropping right now. We already broke that up. So if you get sell setups, go with it. Not a sell setup. This actually looks like a buy setup. This here. Right. So what you want is you want this to drop, 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 go back up there and then drop. Then we'll get a good sell setup. And I'll do one more. I think most of my traders trade this one. This is a sell setup here, but it's short term. You have a sell setup. But it's short term because all of this is inside of this and inside of this. So even if this comes here, you go back up, you come back here, you go back up. Right? You get this flat, you get this flat, and then you go back, make a new high. So it probably will consolidate here for a while. Probably consolidate here for a while. Can it drop from that point? Well, we were expecting it to drop. I thought it would just come this much for this one here and then go down back. So what I was looking at is possibility of this being a flat. Like 1, 2, 3, and then go back down. It doesn't necessarily have to be. This could have been the final move down. So in the big picture, let's see if that is a possibility. Yep, that could be the final move down. And this could totally come back to the top. I'll keep an eye. Sorry, guys. I'll be willing to keep an eye on this for more upside. Right? Because if this is making a flat here, what you want is you want it to complete this flat. You want it to come here, go back up there, come back here. And if you get this pattern here, look for any buy setup you get here for the big move. Because you could get a sudden big spike here. So keep an eye on this one. But you want a complete pattern. If you're going to do that, you want a complete pattern here. And then you can look for a trade from the bottom here to go up. Why is my phone so busy today? Sorry about that, guys. So keep an eye on that one. Anyway, let me stop the recording there now.